Hi everyone, it's Emma, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a ripple blanket. This is one of my all-time favourite blanket stitches, and it's worked over a one row repeat, so it's very simple to crochet too. For this tutorial and in this example that you can see here, I've used some Hobbii Twister Solid yarn. This was really kindly gifted to me by Hobbii, and I will pop all of the details of the yarn and each one of the shades that I've used here down in the description box below. And I'll be using a 3.5mm crochet hook, but you can use any yarn that you prefer to crochet this. Just make sure that you adjust your hook size accordingly, and don't forget I'm based in the UK and therefore I use UK crochet terminology. For this pattern, you'll need to know how to crochet a UK treble crochet, and that is equivalent to a US double. But don't worry, I will pop all of that information in the description box and I will talk you through it step by step as we go. To get started, I'm going to take my yarn and create a slip knot, and you can do that in whichever way you prefer. And I'm going to pop that on my hook, and we're going to work our foundation chain, and this needs to be worked in multiples of 16, so it's quite a big multiple. I'm going to do 2 repeats, so 32 altogether just for this tutorial. For this blanket that I've shown here that I've got in progress, I've actually chained 192 in total, and then you'll need to add a bit on for your turning chain, but I'll come to that in a moment. So go ahead and work your starting chain in multiples of 16. Okay, I've worked 32 chains now in total, and then what I'm going to do is add a further 3 chains onto the end. So whatever multiple, whatever total chains you end up working, you'll want to add another 3 stitches onto the end there. And when we come to working into the chain, I like to turn mine on its back and work into the back bumps that you can see here. I've got a full tutorial that explains that. If you prefer, you can hold your chain on the side and work into the front of the chains. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it will be easier to work a border if you do into the back bumps. For row number 1, we're going to work into the 4th chain from the hook. So I've got 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we're going to work a UK treble crochet, and don't forget that's equivalent to a US double crochet, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the 4th chain away from the hook, grab that yarn and pull it through, grab the yarn again and pull through 2, grab the yarn and pull through 2, and we've got 1 stitch here that we've just created, and these chains that we've missed at the beginning also count as 1 stitch, so we've got 2 stitches there. Next, we're going to work 5 treble crochets into the next 5 chains along. So yarn over again, insert your hook into the next chain along, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, that's 1 stitch. Again, yarn over, go into the next chain along, grab that yarn and pull it through, grab the yarn and pull through 2, grab the yarn and pull through 2, that's 2 stitches. We're going to do it 3 more times. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, grab that yarn and pull it through, grab the yarn and pull through, grab the yarn and pull through 2. Okay, that's 3 stitches, 2 more to go. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And we've just got 1 more stitch to work now. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And what we're doing at the moment, if we look at this example that I've got here, we're working our way downwards to the bottom of the ripple. So what we need to do now is work some stitches together. So this is a little bit different, but I'm going to talk you through it step by step. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, and then we're going to stop and we're going to leave those 2 loops on our hook incomplete. We're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the next chain and start another stitch. So insert your hook and grab that yarn and put it through, yarn over and pull through 2, and at this point you should have 3 loops on the hook, and what we're going to do is yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops, and what you've just done there is worked 2 stitches together, and it's doing this that helps form the base and the shape of the ripple. And we need to do that one more time. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, grab that yarn and pull it through, yarn over and pull through 2, and then stop there, yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Again, we should have 3 loops, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So you've worked 2 stitches together twice, okay? And what we need to do now is start working our way back up the ripple to the peak. And in order to do that, it's really simple. We're just going to work 5 treble crochets. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now that we're back at the top, what we need to do is create our peak here. And that's really simple to do. We're just going to work 2 stitches into 1. And again, we're going to do that 2 times. So we're going to yarn over to begin our stitch, insert our hook into the next chain, grab that yarn and pull it through, grab the yarn and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And then instead of moving on to the next chain, we're going to work another stitch into that same space. So we've got 2 treble crochets into that same chain there. And we're going to do the same thing into the next chain along. We're going to work a treble crochet. Remember, that's equivalent to a US double crochet. And we're going to work 1 more treble into that same space. So we've got 2 stitches here with 2 trebles going into each, and that's what forms the peak of the ripple. And what we need to do now is work our way back down to the bottom of the ripple again, and we just need to do that by working 5 treble crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now we're at the bottom again. So what we've come to now is the part where we work our stitches together to form the valley at the bottom of the ripple. So we're going to begin working our treble crochet as normal, and then we're going to stop when we've still got 2 loops on the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and go straight into working the next stitch into the next chain along. This time we're going to stop when we've got 3 loops on the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. and we're going to do that once more. So begin working a treble crochet into the next stitch, stop when you've got 2 loops, begin the next treble into the next chain along, stop this time when you've got 3 loops, grab that yarn and pull through all 3 loops together, and that's formed the valley here of our ripple, and you should see that it's beginning to take shape, but it will become more defined as you work more rows. So now we're almost at the end of the row. I'm going to work 5 treble crochets to get back up to the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm at the end of the row now, and once you come to the end of the row you should have 1 stitch remaining. If you've worked a longer chain, what you need to do is just continue working the row in the same way. So once you've worked the once you've worked this part here where you've got 2 stitches going into each chain, what you'll do is work 5 to go back down, and then you'll work 2 together and then 5 back up. You'll just continue repeating that all along the row. Once you come to the end, you'll end at what should be the top of the ripple, and you should have 1 chain remaining. And to finish off this row, what we're going to do is work 2 treble crochets into that final space, and that completes the first row. And row number 2 is really easy because we're basically repeating what we've just done. And if you want to continue building your project, this is the row that you're going to continue repeating throughout. So to begin row number 2, we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. This counts as 1 stitch, and we need to work another stitch into the same space. So we're going to work a treble crochet into the space directly underneath the chain. And then we need to work our way back to the bottom of the ripple, and we need to do that by working 5 treble crochets to make our way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we've come to the part where we work our stitches together. So we're going to begin working a treble crochet into the next stitch, but we're going to stop when we've got 2 loops left on the hook still. We're going to begin a treble into the next stitch along, and this time we're going to stop when we've got 3 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and then we're going to do that one more time. So work a treble, but stop when you've got 2 loops, and then start a treble into the next stitch, and then stop when you've got 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops together. And now we need to work our way back up, and we're going to do that again by working 5 treble crochets to get back to the top of that ripple. And 5, and at this point you can stop and you can just double check that everything's lining up and that you've not missed any stitches. If we look at the row below here, you should be able to see that we've reached, this is at where we increased on the previous row. So we've got 2 stitches going into this chain and 2 stitches going into this chain. On the subsequent rows, you'll always be working the 2 trebles into the center 2 of these stitches, if that makes sense. And then you can make sure that everything's lined up. And if it's not lining up, you've miscounted somewhere along the line. Okay, so we're going to work 2 treble crochets now that we're at the top into the same stitch, and we're going to do that twice in total. So into the next stitch along, we're also going to work 2 treble crochets, 1 and 2, and then we're going to work our way back down by making 5 treble crochets. 3, 4 and 5. And now that we're at the bottom of the ripple, we need to work our stitches together. So begin working a treble into the next stitch, stop with 2 loops, begin the next treble into the next stitch, stop at 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to do that one more time. So begin a treble into the next stitch, stop at 2 loops, begin a treble into the next stitch, and this time stop at 3, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then we're going to work our way back up with another 5 treble crochets, 4 and 5, and we've got 1 stitch remaining at the end, and this looks a little bit different because it's where we skipped the chain stitches at the very beginning when we started. And we're going to work 2 treble crochets into the very top here. And what you want to do at the end here is try and go underneath 2 loops of the chain like this to keep it nice and secure. So we're going to work 1 treble and then 2 treble crochets, and that completes row number 2. And in this example here, I've been working 2 rows of each colour. If you want to carry on with the same colour, all you would do is go back to the beginning of row number 2, chain 3 and turn your work, and then continue working in the same way. If you want to change colour, I'll show you how to do that now. So I've just pulled my work back a little bit. I've worked 1 treble crochet at the end and I'm just about to work my second stitch. So I'll yarn over and insert my hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, and then I'll drop that yarn and pick up the next colour, and I will just loop that around my hook and pull it through, give everything a bit of a pull to keep it nice and secure, and then I would chain 3 just as normal to begin the next row, and that's pulled through the new colour. So I hope you found that tutorial helpful. I would be really grateful if you would like and subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you all again soon in the next video. Thanks so much for watching and take care everyone. Bye.